Macabre Cast.
The mummy is on the loose, and he's dancing with the devil. You know what that means? It's time for another episode of Macabre Cast. Doc Mark and Chorus, the little mummy, here to bring you another episode of Macabre Cast, where we'll be dropping R's where they belong and adding them where they don't.
What are you, a psychic or a traffic controller? Go back to The Exorcist.
Thank you for keeping me focused, Gilbert. But yes, I did see Exorcist Believer with Ellen Burstyn as coming back as Chris McNeil. And I really enjoyed it. Thought it was a solid sequel. Again, David Gordon Green film, the one who did the most recent Halloween films, which I know there's a lot of controversy behind her. I don't know. The new thing today is to hate on everything. And I had already started to see the hate on this Exorcist film, which I don't really fully understand. Generally, in the past, as I've mentioned before, most sequels that we've gotten over the years for some of these movies have just been garbage. Now someone's taken the time, someone appreciates and loves the originals, has taken the time to put out sequels, at least with a little bit of love and thought into them. And you know, Ellen Burstyn coming back as Chris McNeil, people will call that fan service. Is it though? I mean, I anytime you can bring back original characters and have it make sense is a good thing. The origins of this particular story begin in Haiti. They touch on all the different religions and how pretty much all the religions have some form of exorcism in them. But I don't know. I really enjoyed this movie. I thought it was a solid sequel, as I said, and I liked it. If I sound different today, by the way, it's because now I've got this cold that has come on and making me sound, I don't know, different.
Oh boy, put on a mask. Nobody wants COVID.
You can still catch colds, you know. Not everything is COVID. Chorus.
Can you turn your head that way when you speak? You're breathing on me.
So remember, check your local listings because the Showcase Cinema has been showing the original Universal monster classics. Frankenstein, Bride, Dracula, The Mummy, Creature from the Black Lagoon, every Sunday in October of 2023 this year. I was fortunate enough to catch Bride on the big screen, and it's just amazing. Sometimes when you're used to just seeing these movies on the television, as big as TVs are nowadays, still nothing compares to the big screen and the sound. And for me, there was probably, other than myself and my wife, there was maybe 3 other people in the theater, which I enjoy that. I'd rather that, but it's a shame not to see more people out enjoying these classics on the big screen. But every Sunday, check it. It's in the Boston area. It's been 4:00 on Sundays. But try to get out and see. When I saw Bride, I'm definitely going to try to get out and at least see one more before October is over. So this Halloween fall season, other than Exorcist, Five Nights at Freddy's, and Mike Flanagan's Fall of the House of Usher, there are 15 international horror films coming out just in time for Halloween. Creepy Crawly, that's a Thailand film. Mary Had a Little Lamb from the UK. Let's see what the rest of these are. Aberrance, the first Mongolian film to get a theatrical release in the U.S. Pet Cemetery, Bloodlines, which we discussed before. When Evil Lurks, that's an Argentina film. In My Mother's Skin, that sounds interesting, from Singapore and Taiwan. The Conference from Sweden, The Elderly from Spain, Three Blind Mice, United Kingdom, Creature from Turkey, Night of the Hunted from France. Some of those France movies are pretty intense. Watch out for that. The Fifth Thorax Vertebra, I guess, from South Korea. Door from Japan. Sister Death, kind of like a nun type film from Spain. And Help, My In-Laws Are Vampires. That's obviously a comedy, and I'm not even sure where that's from. But yeah, 15 new international horror movies out this Halloween.
Oh, that list is exhausting.
Grim Kim is on the line, Karis, with an explanation of why she's never been able to sit through Chainsaw Massacre. Here's the Grim Facts.
Hi, Grim.
Hi, Dark Mark. I'm just leaving you a comment because you had just posted the little happy little face for Bob Ross Leatherface painting, and I was saying how it's so that one I have a hard time getting through it because my anxiety, it's just the sense of dread. And I was telling my sister how I can't handle haunted houses. I can't handle them. And she was talking about going to Canopy with this drama troupe that she's doing a play with right now. She does a lot of local community theater. She always has. And so I go, wow, you don't mind the haunted houses? Oh, especially the walkthroughs. I have recurrent nightmares. It's like my dream sequence. She goes, what? She goes, Kim, they're actors. Okay. Ever since she said that 2 weeks ago, she has changed my whole perspective on the performers in the haunted houses. God bless her, honestly. And I might have to just view a Texas Chainsaw through that lens. Anyway, thank you, Mark. Have a good day.
Grim Facts.
The first of two Halloween-themed songs that I wrote and recorded was released Friday. Apple iTunes, if you purchase your music. The song is called The Ghastly Ones, and here's a small sample of it.
We are the ghastly ones. We are the ghastly ones.
That's a small taste of The Ghastly Ones by yours truly, Dark Mark. Let's talk about the movie The Prowler from 1981, directed by Joseph Zito. Originally, this was titled Rosemary's Killer. Basically, I just give you a rundown of what this movie's about. A young couple's murdered at a graduation dance by a killer dressed in World War II fatigues. This is back in 1945. After that, the town bans further graduation celebrations. The movie then jumps ahead 35 years, and, those 80s kids aren't having any of this nonsense. And so what do? Well, of course, they plan a graduation party. And it isn't long before people are being offed by a guy dressed in, you guessed it, World War II fatigues. Has the mad killer returned after all this time? Who knows? You'll have to see it to find out. It's actually a pretty decent film by Joseph Zito, and it's highlighted by Tom Savini's gruesome effects.
Has the mad killer returned? The guy that killed someone in 1945? What did he return with? A cane and a case of Depends?
There was an onslaught of slasher movies in 1981, and trust me when I say Prowler was one of the better ones. Last week, Karis, on episode 23, the horror marathon man, Scary Larry, sent in pictures of his Halloween decor. Well, Scary Larry has, because he wants to participate so bad, has downloaded something to his phone so he's able to leave voice messages. So, see? Now that's There's a guy that's, again, learn from Larry. Be part of this family, participate. We want to hear from you. And Larry has called in and given us his review of Exorcist Believer.
Yeah, Larry's house looks so cool. He sees 100 horror movies every year. Maybe he should have the show, not you.
Here's Scary Larry.
Greetings, Dark Mark. This is Larry, the horror movie marathon man. It's October, and I've already watched 105 horror movies that I have never seen before, including the much anticipated release of The Exorcist Believer. Believer takes place 50 years after the original, and two new 13-year-old girls are possessed. Only this time, one comes from a highly religious family, and the other is a daughter of a non-believer. I like that they brought back Ellen Burstyn as Chris McNeil as a guide in how to remove these demons, and how they bring in leaders of a few different religions to help in the exorcism. Had just the right blend of ominous pace and suspense. I gave it 3 out of 5 stars.
Thank you, Scary Larry. Always a pleasure, and so appreciated that you would do that and put that app on your phone so that you could join in with the family. Before I get going, I wanted to mention that Matt sent me a message where this past weekend was Friday the 13th. He was curious how I rate the movies from favorite to least favorite. And I did that, and I have that up here. But I'm going to tell you what, Matt, I'm going to table my reason why my order is the way it is, because I could talk about Friday the 13th forever, and you really want to see my geek side come out. Here we go. So I'm going to table my reasoning for episode 25, but for now, favorite to least favorite, part 2, part 4, part 3, the original film, part 5. I have a question mark for Freddy vs. Jason, because is that a Friday the 13th film or an Elm Street film? I think that's been back and forth with fans for a while. Part 7, the reboot. Part 6, which I know was a lot of people's favorite, but to me that was when the movies suddenly looked and felt very different. I know a lot of people like that, but I don't know about me. Jason X Goes to Hell, and part 8 is dead last. Again, that could be a whole show just talking about that putrid fest. But anyway, until next time, like I said, I'll table that and explain my order.
Until next time, stay on the road, keep clear of the moors, and beware the moon. But most of all, be good to yourself. This is Dark Mark, signing off. See you soon.